Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Melvin here from the Melvin Live Show, and today is episode 55. Pretty significant for me, if you ask me, because episode 55. So, episode 55, it's pretty significant for me because 55, it's more than slightly more than halfway through this journey itself. And so 54 days ago, I embarked on this journey to live stream on a daily basis. And at a point in time, we were all stuck at home and we kind of not quite sure where this thing is going. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to eat my own dog food, literally, right? And so the whole idea was I want to do what with whatever resources I had. That time, all I had was a webcam and that was just about it. And so that led me to just get on and do it with whatever resources I had. And frankly, I have no idea where this was going. What I do know was that I was going to be sharing every day. I was going to be sharing the things that I do and what are the things that is going to get me closer to my goal. Arguably, 54 days ago, my goals were still, unclear. And it wasn't until a couple of weeks back that my goals got clarified and many of the things started to fall into places. And I wanted to make it such that I am being very, very transparent and being upfront about what's going on. And so there are days that I'm excited, there are days that I'm happy, there are days that maybe I'm not so thrilled, like today. And but whatever the case may be, the whole idea is to be able to push on and get certain things done so that I'm able to see some kind of progress towards my goal. And so it all came down to just one bit, right? This one bit of to become better every day. And of course, if you're not measuring anything, then how do you even know that you are becoming better? And so that allowed me to embark on this journey where I started to look at different aspects of my life. So one aspect of it was I wanted to make sure that I record all the Bible verses that resonated with me, that gave me that guide in terms of how I want to I want to set that as an intention. I want to set that as an inspiration for that day. And so I wanted to document every single day of that. And I would say 99% of the time I get to do the ritual as well as I get to document it. And the whole process allows me to really be focused and to be intentional in terms of the way I live. So that's one part of it. The other part of it that I have seen significant improvement, it's in the moods that I get on a day-to-day basis. And so initially I could see that in the morning I usually start off the day pretty crappy. But then when it comes to the evening, I'm a lot better. And so when I kind of trace back, I wanted to see how I could be more conscious and what is it that I could do to get myself up to that level so that I do not feel crappy. And that led me to a series of experimentation, one of which was journaling. which didn't go very well because I wasn't quite sure what to write. However, as time goes by, what I found out was that, I mean, intellectually, I've always known it, right? That there are certain things that are within our control, and there are certain things that are not within our control. And, and so, truth be told, there will be things that are within our control, and there are things that are outside of our control. And I think we know that intellectually. But how do we, or how are we able to put that into application of our daily life? That becomes something a lot more interesting to look at. And so what led me to do was I decided to document the I decided to document three things, because these are the three things that are within my control, and the three things are my thoughts, my desires, and my actions. So I want to claim back the way I'm thinking about things. I want to claim back. I want to be be the person, the captain, to decide that this is what I'm going to be thinking about. Right. So what is it that I think about? This is what I choose to think. And and then there is this part about desires. This is what I choose to look forward to. Right. This is how I choose to feel. And then of course the third part is this is how I choose to act. So what I think, what I feel, and what I do. And so these are the three things that I would document or I would write down every single day. And of course, not every day when you wake up, you are thinking positive thoughts and all that. However, the truth of the matter is, do you allow that to squander away your entire day, which I did for a period of time, or do you do you look at how you can take control of that and weed out all negativity and just focus on what is it that it is within your control? So the part about the emotions and my feelings was something that I tracked on a daily basis. In fact, this time round, what I've been doing is I've increased from once a day to twice a day to now three times a day, because I want to find out, or I want to record, how is it that I feel in the middle of the day, and how is it that I feel at the end of the day. And so that kind of gives you a sensing in terms of what how what are the mood swings, for example. And I haven't got enough data yet, but I envisage that at some point in time, I'm able to extract out that data and plot some kind of graphs with it, right? But in any case, I've written a formula within Notion itself that allows me to compute my average daily emotional rating. And with that emotional rating itself, I know where I am, and of course I can then reflect back on the days that I were on a high. What were the things that I did? So that is the second thing that I record. The third thing that I used to record was the amount of sleep, but I found that that wasn't quite accurate, and so I have decided not to record that for the time being until I find a better way to record my sleep quality. The other thing that I record on a daily basis, it's my workout. So whether it's a run, or it's a full body workout, or it's some kind of stretches, I document that. And the reason I document that is because I also want to see if there is some kind of a correlation between the way you feel and the kind of the workout that you do. And I think I'm going to take that to another level by noting what time is it that I do my workout. So is it better if I do my workout in the morning? Is it better if I do my workout in the evening? Or is it better if I do the workout at night? I think that's something that I've not tracked. Then the other thing that I've been tracking is what I've learned on a daily basis, because here's what I think, right? We're here and this is where we want to be. And in order for us to reach our goal, there are a series of things that we must do. Now, if this goal is something that we have never achieved before, then very well, there are going to be things that we will have to do that we have never done before. And when I look back, there's just so many things there's so many goals that I've achieved. And the reason why I achieved that was because there are certain things that I needed to do, and there are certain things that I did which I've never done before. But if you have never done it before, then how would you have the experience or even the know-how? And that led me to look at this as if there's a goal that I want, and that goal is something that I want to work towards, then obviously I'm going to have to do a series of things that will lead me to that goal, to that outcome. However, that outcome itself requires a series of actions that I've never done before. And so the only way that I could do it is I learn. And of course, learning could be in the form of reading a book, learning could be in the form of attending a course, or learning could be in the form of speaking to someone or watching a video. So it's contextual. It depends on what exactly do you want to learn and what exactly are the steps that you need to take. So, for example, right now, I want to, but there is a clear distinction here that I want to make, because a lot of time we tend to think that we have to be all knowledgeable and all knowing before we can execute on certain things. But that's not the way we learn, because the way we learn is that we have to learn certain thing and then we have to do it. So I am a huge proponent of learning by doing, because when you start doing certain things, that's where you get a sensing of, okay, what I've learned, is that accurate or is that not accurate? For example, if you're looking to live stream every day, you could watch other people who live stream every day, B, read books about live streaming, or read articles about live streaming, or watch videos about live streaming, or C, you could speak to someone who is able to guide you in terms of live streaming. Now, bearing in mind, a lot of us, what we're going to do is we will go with that route of, oh, let me gain as much knowledge as possible. Let me go out there and accumulate as much learning as possible before I embarked on it. But then you realize that once you start going deep into that topic itself, you realize that there's so many things that you do not know, because first you think that going on live means it's just knowing what to say, but then you realize that going live means that you need to know at what bit rate you should be streaming at, so that your video doesn't get too jittery. When is a good time to live stream? What equipment do you need to do a live stream? And on and on and on. And so this entire journey never ends. And if you are going to say that, well, I'm going to learn all this different aspect of it. I'm going to learn all this different aspect of it, and until I'm ready, then I will start. And if that's the way you think, you are likely never going to start. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is that, oh, many of us would say that, oh, unless I have the tool, unless I have all the tools that I need, I'm not going to do it, because I'm not going to show people my crappy background. I'm not going to show people my crappy lighting. I'm not going to show people my crappy camera, for example. So I need to buy all those equipment. But guess what? When you buy all those equipment, you then realize that, hey, you could actually get a little bit more mileage if you use this. And so what are you going to do? You're going to buy the other equipment, and then you then realize that, oh, if you just have this lighting, everything will be perfect. And so you go out there and get the lighting, and then you realize that there are certain other aspect of lighting that you need to look into. And then audio, right? You would then say that, oh, if I get this mic or that mic or condenser, whatever, this is going to give me the absolute best quality in terms of my live stream. True, right? And I would say, if budget is not an issue, by all means pursue down that route. Get all the best top of the line equipment and then get started. However, many of us would go down the route of, oh, now I got a camera, I just need the lights. Or now I got the lights, I just need the audio. Or now I got the audio, I gotta need a second camera. Or once I get a second camera, and it never ends. And you never ever even get started. And so learning becomes one aspect of things that I learn, but I also make sure that I put it into practice, because that is the only way that I will grow. And so if I learn something, like for example, right, I need to build a board, and I would say that, hang on, I could A, board for me, but not sure if that's going to work. Or B, I could read all these articles and talk to all these people and find out from them how is the best way to build a board. And thirdly, I could try out all these different boards and then find out which one is the best board possible. Now, all the things that I've said would have just led me to not putting out the board altogether. And so what I do is, right now I will say that, okay, what I need to make sure it's, first, how do I install the board onto my website? All right, so I go and then I figure this out. I learn a few things. I learned that, okay, you put this code, that code, you need this plugin, that plugin, and there you go. You execute on that, right? And then the next day you said, oh, okay, now that I know how to install the board on my website, the next thing I need to know is I need to write the sequencing, so that when people engage with the board itself, what are the responses that they get? And what are the choices that are presented to them? And so I will, I will go and look at several websites and what are they doing, and then I would then decide, maybe after 1 or 2 days, decide and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and execute on that. And so the thing that I have been very, very careful here is, I do not let learning be a hindrance. I never let learning be a hindrance. I never let myself down that route to say that I need to know more of that. I mean, yes, I do need to know more of certain things, but that is not going to hold me back from implementation. Because until and unless you implement, it is not done, right? Done is better than perfect. And that is something that is crucial. And so I would decide, like, okay, today this is the goal that or these are the results that I want for today, right? To allow me to move towards my goal. And so if if that's the thinking, then I would say, okay, then what is it that I need to get done this week, right? Or this month, and then this week, and then today. And then I would say, okay, today I need to fix this, or today I need to write my sequence of emails or the sequencing of the chatbot. And so what I'll do is I will then invest 2 or 3 hours in looking into how to get this thing done, and then I execute on it, right? So it doesn't have to be the same day, because sometimes some things you would need a lot more time. So it may require like 2 or 3 days, for example. But every day there has to be a learning and there has to be a practice. And if you document that, find that over time is going to help you identify where are the things that are, where are the inefficiencies, right? Where are the inefficiencies, and how could you read that of the inefficiency and really bring it down to a level where you are able to implement that and be effective about it. So like today, the main task that I have was basically to build this website that primarily the focus is, if you land on this website, and of course you need to be the right audience, right? But once you land on this website itself, you would then be presented with a list of choices on what is it that you want to learn that will help you achieve your goal. And with that, that's when you interact with the board. So when you land on this site, you will interact with the board, and the board will then ask you, hey, would you like to do A, B, or C today? And you picked one, right? You pick A, and the board will then show you, cool, right? These are some of the resources that will help you learn A better. Would you like to see a video, for example, or would you like to sign up for a webinar that will help you achieve that? And so that becomes the whole thing. I mean, that becomes the whole process itself of getting people and using a chatbot to get people over that inertia and get them to execute on what they have in mind, right? If you got a question for me with regards to this, send me a note and I'll be more than happy to talk to you. Otherwise, I'll speak to you on the next one. Bye-bye.